On September 27, 2024, the Israeli Air Force sent off a carefully arranged airstrike that wiped out Hezbollah's boss Hassan Nasrallah alongside a few high-positioning individuals from the Iran-backed bunch. The accuracy strike completed in southern Beirut designated a vigorously invigorated shelter found 60 feet underground where Nasrallah and other Hezbollah pioneers had assembled to talk about methodology in the midst of rising strains, with Israel, the airstrike focusing on one of the most cryptic and invigorated areas in Lebanon is quite possibly of the most critical Israeli military activities in ongoing memory, possibly reshaping the international scene of the center east. The activity that killed Nisa, head of the Iran-upheld Hezbollah bunch, was not a spike. The second strike, Israeli knowledge officers in coordination with unfamiliar partners fastidiously assembled data about Hezbollah's authority for more than many years. These endeavors strengthened as Nasrallah arose as quite possibly of Israel's most needed targets following Hezbollah's association in various assaults on Israeli and Jewish targets overall. On the day of the strike, Nasrallah had assembled with other high-positioning Hezbollah commandants in a vigorously sustained dugout in southern Beirut to examine systems against Israel, as indicated by a report from the Wall Road Diary. Nasrallah and his leaders were feeling the squeeze from Iran to stay away from quick reprisal, even as pressures among Hezbollah and Israel came to a breaking point. The fortification intended to endure significant military attacks was covered profound underground, supporting the deception of insusceptibility. Anyway, Israeli military knowledge had been cautiously following Nasrallah's developments for years, recognizing minutes when Hezbollah's top of the food chain strayed from their schedule, an indication of key social affairs. The strike on Nasrallah dugout was completed utilizing exceptionally specific shelter busting bombs. These bombs, intended to penetrate through 60 feet of earth and build up concrete, were dropped by Israeli contender jets in a progression of coordinated blasts. This guaranteed that each ensuing bomb dug more profound into the ground until the shelter's guards were broken. Israeli powers dropped 80 tons of these bombs, fit for penetrating through 30 meters of earth or 6 meters of supported concrete. The plan of these weapons beholds back to the Second Great War, explicitly the German-designed Erling shells adjusted and further developed throughout the long term. The outcome was a strike that demolished Hezbollah's order shelter and killed a few senior individuals from the gathering, including Nasrallah himself. Israel's progress in dispensing with Nasrallah was to a great extent because of its broad insight tasks against Hezbollah. Since the 2006 conflict, Israeli military knowledge had committed itself to entering Hezbollah's inward activities. This errand was a long way from simple, as Hezbollah is one of the world's most mysterious and intensely furnished civilian armies, with close connections to Iran's progressive monitors. The defining moment came in 2012, at the point when Hezbollah warriors were conveyed to Syria to help President Bashar al-Assad's system during the Syrian Common War. The contention presented Hezbollah to a far more noteworthy level of investigation, as the gathering's warriors were killed and injured in huge numbers, prompting people in general exposure of individual insights concerning a considerable lot of its individuals. This deluge of data permitted Israeli insight to fabricate itemized profiles of Hezbollah authorities, including Nasrallah himself. Israel's knowledge mechanical assembly, moreover, utilized progressed hacking procedures, focusing on Hezbollah's correspondence, gadgets observation framework. Also, even vehicles, Israeli government agents allegedly followed the developments of Hezbollah pioneers through their vehicles, odometers, and hacked into reconnaissance cameras across Lebanon, acquiring continuous experiences into their whereabouts. On September 27, 2024, this knowledge paid off as Israeli powers followed NASA's excursion to his order dugout and the hit to correspond with his appearance. NASA's death is by a long shot Israel's most huge triumph against Hezbollah as of late. His demise, alongside the disposal of other senior Hezbollah commandants, addresses a significant catastrophe for the gathering's functional abilities. The Israel Safeguard Powers IDF affirmed that 8 of Hezbollah's 9 top military commandants were killed in the previous year, with large numbers of these killings occurring over the most recent couple of weeks. This incorporates pioneers from Hezbollah's rocket division. Furthermore, the tip-top Radwan power, which has been engaged with high-profile assaults against Israel, the airstrike that killed NIA, likewise designated Hezbollah's military resources, annihilating imperative electronic hardware and a huge money of rockets. This interruption of Hezbollah's foundation, combined with the deficiency of its senior administration, leaves the gathering powerless when it faces developing tension from both Israel, also its Iranian benefactors. Hezbollah has, however, to officially declare how Nasrallah passed on. However, Lebanese clinical and security sources let Reuters know that the fear pioneer body was recuperated unblemished, recommending that he kick the bucket from obtuse injury brought about by the impact as opposed to direct injuries. The death of Hassan Nzala is prone to heightened pressures between Israel and Hezbollah, as well as their provincial partners. Hezbollah, which has promised retribution for Nasser's passing, has been a central member in the continuous struggle among Israel and Iran for a really long time. Nasrallah was the essence of Hezbollah's opposition against Israel, driving a civilian army that brags tents huge number of warriors and a weapons store of rockets, equipped for venturing profound into Israeli region. While Hezbollah presently can't seem to fight back, Israel's military has promised to proceed with its mission against the gathering until it stops its assaults. Prime Serve Benjamin Netanyahu, who was in New York going to the unified countries general gathering at the hour of the strike, gave the go-ahead for the assault, further featuring the global extent of Israel's endeavors to dispense with Hezbollah's authority. Nasser's passing imprints a defining moment in Israel's well-established fight against Hezbollah. The gathering's versatility and capacity to fight back following this misfortune still need to be worked out for Israel. The end of its most considerable adversary is a huge triumph. However, the eventual fate of the contention stays dubious.